What's going on, guys? Welcome into the Bulls Report. I'm your host for today's show, Patrick Siepman. We're going to be talking about a blockbuster trade that Bleacher Report suggested involving the Miami Heat and our very own Chicago Bulls. In this trade, it would be a package that the Bulls would receive for Zach LaVine, and Tyler Herro is one of those players in this trade. I got a ton of thoughts on this and more, but guys, we're actually in a sub-battle with our Heat channel. We both started them at around the same time. We got an early lead right now on them, but guys, I'm asking you for your help. Go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's a very easy way here to help us out here at the Bulls Report. The more subs we get, just the more videos are going to come your way. So if you want to stay on top of Bulls news, rumors, whatever it is, it's going to be a busy offseason for the Chicago Bulls. Hit that subscribe button, stay in the loop, and plus it helps us out a lot. So here's the Bleacher Report trade idea that they suggested. The Bulls, they're getting a lot for Zach LaVine in this trade. Number one, the big piece that is coming over to Chicago is Tyler Herro. And then it's Nikola Jovic, their first-round pick from last year. Then you're also getting Duncan Robinson and 2 first-round picks. This is a lot more than I expected for the Bulls, what they would be able to get for Zach LaVine. Obviously, Zach LaVine is a very good player, and he could be probably a 2 or a 3 on a championship team, but getting this haul for Zach LaVine, I think it would give the Bulls the restart and the reset they needed. But this is what Zach Buckley had to say about the Bulls trading LaVine to the Miami Heat. He said, this is as good as any package Chicago could hope to land. Tyler Herro has serious centerpiece potential. He has averaged at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in each of the past 2 seasons, and he just turned 23 in January. Tack on Nikola Jovic, last summer's number 27 overall pick, and 2 first-round picks, one this summer, one in 2027 or beyond, and that's a big enough return to justify taking on the remainder of Duncan Robinson's deal. This would be an absolute haul for the Bulls. I think if you're talking in terms of what the Bulls could get back for Zach LaVine, I think this checks most of the boxes. Obviously you would want a young piece that you could kind of build around in a Tyler Herro, which they would get. But then you would also want draft picks, and that's what the Heat could offer the Bulls, because the Bulls in this upcoming draft, they have no draft picks. The Heat are slated in to select at 18th overall. I would love this pick. I think there's actually a ton of talent in this year's NBA draft, especially in that top 25. I think most of the talent in this year's draft is from that 8 to 25 range. Obviously, you have the great top 3, but if the Bulls could find a way to somehow get into that top 20 pick range, I think they could draft a guy that they could seriously build around. But let's focus in on Tyler Herro for a second. Because, man, listen, putting up these numbers at 23 years old this past season, 20 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists per game, shooting just under 44% from the field. But it's that three-point ability with Tyler Herro that I love so much. He is an absolute flamethrower when he's on the floor, and he is the definition of a heat check guy in the NBA. He is the type of guy where if he sees 2 or 3 early shots go in, he could potentially be one of the best players on the court that day just because of his shot-making ability. He's one of those dudes where if he catches fire, you have to know where he is on the court at all times. But Zach Buckley mentioned Duncan Robinson and the Bulls taking on his contract. And Duncan Robinson in the regular season, he wasn't too good. Duncan Robinson, his regular season numbers aren't too solid. He was actually benched for some of the time. But this playoffs, man, in just 14 games, obviously the Miami Heat play another one tonight. But he has been fantastic, and he's kind of been a shocker for the Miami Heat. He's averaging 9 points a game, not really doing too much rebounding the ball or being a playmaker. But that 44.7% from 3, that's what I love to see. And if we're going back to this Bulls trade that they would receive here, Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson, you get legitimately 2 young pieces and 2 young shooters that I think the Bulls could really build around. And then Nikola Jovic, he's kind of like a mini Nikola Jokic, obviously nowhere near that standard, but he plays a similar type of basketball. He's that 5 who's a tremendous playmaker. He can get his teammates involved, spread it out to open shooters. If this is the trade that comes across my screen when the Bulls, if they do end up moving off of Zach LaVine, I would absolutely love this. But let me know, who do you guys think wins this trade? Normally in the NBA, you always have this saying, whoever gets the superstar wins the trade. But honestly, on this trade, I think the Bulls have a pretty strong chance of being the winners of this trade. But let me know. Give me a CHI for the Bulls or give me an MIA for the Heat down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. honestly, I would do this trade if I were the Chicago Bulls. I do think it is time for the Bulls to move on and get younger and more athletic. Maybe Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro don't check off that more athletic box, but they check off the box of getting younger. And especially with Nikola Jovic, he's another young piece that the Bulls could build around. And then those 2 first-round picks. You could go add another young guy in the draft, and then you're looking around at this Bulls roster, and you're saying, like, yeah, we have a young piece in Patrick Williams, another young piece in Kobe White, 2 young pieces that we brought in, or 3 young pieces that we brought in Jovic, Robinson, and Tyler Herro. If I were the Bulls, I think this is the move that they need to make if you are going to move off Zach LaVine. And in terms of Zach LaVine, listen, regular season numbers for LaVine, he's always going to be a solid piece. He's a solid scorer. He can score at all 3 levels. He can shoot the 3 ball well. He can get to his mid-range. And, with his athletic ability, he's able to get downhill as well. I mean, just under 25 points a game in the regular season. And he is a good shooter. But it is those little things with Zach LaVine. The defensive side of the floor, the playmaking ability, that just being an overall leader is where my questions are with Zach LaVine. He puts up great numbers. I think he's a great scorer. And honestly, I think his game can translate to the NBA playoffs, which he has yet to really seen himself play in or even play well, except for that one series against the Milwaukee Bucks. But I do think if the Bulls were to trade Zach LaVine, you have to blow it up and rebuild. I think the Bulls have 3 big question marks on this roster. It's with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. And if you move off Zach LaVine, I think that for sure means you move off DeMar DeRozan. Because what would really be the point? If you're bringing in all these young guys and you still have DeMar on this roster, he's got 1 year left on his deal, might as well just trade him for another young piece or for a future draft pick. Because right now you still have Ayo Dosunmu, who I'm very excited to see what he can develop into. But it's those big 3. It's Vooch, LaVine, and DeRozan. Those are the 3 guys, the older veterans that we have. I think if you were to move off LaVine, it would mean you're not re-signing Vooch, and you're probably going to trade DeMar DeRozan. And honestly, I want to see more shots for a guy like Patrick Williams, who averaged 10 points a game on 42% from 3, and then also a guy like Ayo, like I was mentioning. See a guy like him develop. And then the Bulls also have bench pieces they can move off of. A Caruso, maybe you could trade a Beverly if a championship contender wants to take a flyer on him. Then also a guy like Kobe White you could potentially ship out in a trade, more of a younger bench piece that the Bulls have. But overall, I think this would be a trade I do think the Bulls should consider. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. We're a new channel here at Chat Sports. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you made it to the end of the video, give me a C red down in the comments section. It kind of shows me who all the real ones are. Anyways, we see you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.